Hello friends, what's up? Welcome back to the vlog channel. We are sitting in my currently empty apartment, although you can see my suitcase is right there. So I wanted to do a video where I did a Q&A while I packed up all of my nail polishes, and I asked you guys on Instagram to ask me some questions to answer in the Q&A. I started filming it. I did do it, as you could probably tell by the fact that this room is empty. But when I started doing it, I realized that one, it was gonna take me a really long time to pack up my nail polishes. I actually did it over the course of like 2 weeks. So I decided what I wanted to do was do a time lapse of me packing up my polishes and then just answer the questions in a little voiceover. So that's what we're doing today. Hopefully you guys enjoy that. I think it's also a little bit easier because I was able to work a lot faster and I didn't keep on getting distracted by my phone. So I'm glad I did it that way, but it's just sped up footage of me packing everything up. Honestly, it's kind of fun to watch. I feel like I enjoy those types of things, so hopefully you do too. But anyway, yeah, let me show you the Q&A and the nail polish packing. All right, so let's dive into the questions. I thought it made sense to start with this one. How are you packing your polishes to make sure they don't break? Basically, I am just individually wrapping each one in bubble wrap. I cut them up into little strips like this so that the polishes fit perfectly, and then I pack them really tightly in a box. The movers told me that I was not allowed to put the polishes back into the drawers because they had to be empty for transportation. So this was the best way to do it. I've done this a couple of times before for my big moves and I've never had a break from it, so hopefully that'll happen again. Next question, why are you packing? So if you missed the news, I am actually moving across the country, currently in New Jersey, and I'm moving to Las Vegas, Nevada with Ryan. So we have to pack up everything we own and we have to bring it across the country. We are using movers though, so I just have to pack everything up and then the movers are going to be driving the moving van across the country. What is your least favorite thing about moving? So I have done a couple of big moves in my life. I moved from New Jersey to Georgia, and then I moved from Georgia back to New Jersey. And then I've moved a few times within New Jersey as well. And I think that my least favorite thing is the time period where you don't have your stuff set up. I'm sure that's everybody's least favorite time. I don't mind the actual process of packing. I think it's kind of fun, and it's also a great way to kind of declutter everything. But I hate living out of like a suitcase. So every time that I have moved, I always try to unpack immediately, but I try to pack ahead of time. So there's always a time period where I have like no stuff. Are you nervous about moving all your nail supplies? Honestly, I'm not. I was more worried about how expensive it would be, and I ended up finding a relatively affordable option. But in terms of the actual moving stuff, I think I packed it all pretty well, so I don't expect anything will break. And if anything does, I'm sure it'll be very minimal because all of like my rare nail polishes, I packed more carefully than everything else, and I like kind of put them in the middle of the boxes so that they were more protected by bubble wrap than the rest. Will you be doing another Vlogmas? I really enjoyed last year's. Honestly, I had so much fun doing Vlogmas last year. I would love to do it again. I have no idea what December is going to look like for us since we are going to be in a totally different state, but I'm really enjoying the process of vlogging more, and ideally I would like to vlog more often in general, not just when there's like events going on in my life. So yeah, I definitely plan on doing Vlogmas. I'm sure there will be a couple of days that I miss or skip uploads on, but I think in general it's gonna happen. Do you still have pineapples have feelings too? Yes, I absolutely do. It's my ugliest nail polish and I will treasure it forever. Actually, when I'm packing up my OPIs at one point, I did hold it up to the camera. I don't know if you'll be able to see it because we're going at a high speed here, but yes, of course, I love to hate that polish. Why did you change the intro from harmful chemicals to potentially harmful ingredients? Love ya. Love you too. So I always try to take feedback from you guys to improve my channel, and one of my followers pointed out in one of the comments of my video that it was kind of a misnomer to say harmful chemicals, just because, I mean, one, everything is a chemical, so it kind of makes it sound scarier or more dangerous, and two, because they are harmful in some applications doesn't necessarily mean that they're harmful to everyone in every laundry application. And I definitely agree with that. I think that that's something that I was generally just reading off of the brand's websites where they said like harmful chemicals. But I thought it was an important distinction to make to show that, you know, if you're not allergic to some of these things, they're really not harmful to have in very small quantities in your nail polish. So I did change that part to potentially harmful and then changed chemicals to ingredients just because I think there's a lot of fear, especially in the beauty industry, of the term chemicals. I think people always hear that and think like, oh, this is like a dangerous manufactured thing, when everything, like I said, is a chemical. So that was just a little change that I made based on some conversation that I had with a follower, and I thought it was really great. I always welcome feedback like that. Next question, do you have a preference for a side of the bed, close to the door or away from it? I do have a preference, although it's not really as much related to which side the door is on. It's more related to which side I'm more comfortable turning to face the world instead of the inside of the bed. But I do prefer to sleep on the left side. And I mean, I prefer to be closer to the door and to the bathroom, but that is not always the case when you're on the left side. But I prefer the left side more than I prefer being by the door. Do you prefer to bathe or shower? I am 100% a shower person. I love to shower. That sounds so weird to say, but I prefer to do it first thing in the morning after a workout. But if I work out later in the day, then I would shower after the workout. But I do like baths. I like taking a bath. I love bath bombs. But after a bath, I feel like I always need to take a shower because I just don't feel clean after a bath. But that's just personal preference. I just feel like, I don't know. I just like the water just like washing off of me and going down the drain. Looking for new KM collabs. Anything in the works? If you could see my face, then I would probably be spilling secrets. But luckily, this is a voiceover, so I will not be spilling secrets, but insert winky face here. Why Vegas? My wife and I love watching your content while eating dinner. Love you. Love you too. So I think there's a lot of reasons for that. I did cover a lot of it in my moving announcement vlog, but I would say the main reasons are it's a place that I've always wanted to live. It's a lot warmer there and I enjoy the heat, and it's a lot more affordable for a cost of living. New Jersey is incredibly expensive. You said you're freelance. Does that mean you work in publishing? No. So freelance actually means that you don't necessarily work for a specific employer. It means that you're an independent contractor. So in my case, I work with a couple of companies on a freelance basis, meaning they don't employ me as an employee, but sometimes they'll reach out to me to do certain projects for them. I'm specifically more in marketing and very occasionally graphic design stuff for the very few companies I work for. I am taking a little break from doing that right now just because I have so much going on with this move. But yes, I do that on the side. I know a couple of you also asked what I do for a living or if I still work at the doctor's office that I used to work at. And no, I don't, but I do some freelancing projects on a project by project basis. So just because I've worked with a company before doesn't mean that I'm guaranteed to work with them again, and they don't give me like a steady paycheck. It's just paid per project. I hope that makes sense. What are you looking forward to the most about moving to Las Vegas? Honestly, I know this is probably the silliest thing, but the thing that I'm the most excited about is having outdoor space. I live in an apartment building that does not have a balcony or anything. We don't get any direct sunlight pretty much ever. Sometimes we do in certain times of the year for like 20 minutes in the morning, but that's it. And I'm so excited to have not only like my own balcony patio thing, but also to have a space that I can sit outside that's like a community area, because that's another thing that my apartment building currently does not have. And I just feel like it makes such a difference being able to be outside easily. It takes an incredibly long time to get outside from my building, and I just hate that. So I'm really excited to just have a little bit more of outdoor living there. Although when we do move, it's going to be incredibly hot. So I probably won't use it that much to start. But as the days get a little bit cooler, I'm probably going to be outside all the time. Are you and Leah still going to have the podcast? Yes, we absolutely are. We actually don't film the podcast together right now. Leah is in New York and I am in New Jersey, and we just film them over Zoom calls together. So that's not going to change at all. We're going to keep on doing them. We are almost done with our first season of It's All Geek to Me, and I'm having so much fun with it. I'm loving the response that I've been getting from you guys lately. And next season, we're going to start with a totally new franchise movie series. So definitely check it out if you haven't already. Insert shameless plug. If you were a worm, what species of worm would you like to be? This is an incredible question to ask, and I actually do have an answer for that because it's something that I've thought a lot about. I would be a worm lizard. Worm lizards have arms, and it's hilarious. So I'd recommend looking it up, but they're kind of creepy looking, so be warned. Do you plan on staying in Vegas for a long time? So that's actually a difficult one. We're really not sure because we're fairly young and we don't have any kids or pets or property. It's really easy, relatively speaking, for us to move around. And a part of us is thinking like, oh, if we like it, we'll settle down there. But at the same time, we're also thinking we can really move around as much as we want. So I don't know. I guess it depends on how in love with it we are. If we absolutely can't stand the idea of leaving, we might stay. We might go somewhere else for a few years and then maybe come back. We might come back to New Jersey. I don't know. It's hard to say. Is there something that you really regret doing and something that you regret not doing? This is a great question, and I think about this a lot. So I have an interesting theory about regrets. I am a person with anxiety, so my gut instinct is to always second guess the choices that I'm making and to have regrets, even when nothing bad has necessarily happened. So like, for example, with moving, my gut instinct was like, oh my gosh, what if this is a terrible mistake? What if I hate it there? But then the other part of me thinks if I went back and changed anything in my life, then I wouldn't be in this exact spot that I am right now. And honestly, even through my anxiety and whatever else I go through on a regular basis, I am the happiest I've ever been. So I don't know that I'm willing to regret anything to the point where like I would consider like if I could go back in time and change something, I wouldn't, because I wouldn't want to change the outcome that I'm in right now. You know what I mean? So I always try to think about that whenever I start to have this anxiety and I start to think to myself like, oh my gosh, what if I'm making a mistake? You know, what if I shouldn't have dyed my hair this color? Or what if I shouldn't have bought this expensive thing I've been wanting? But I always just think to myself, you know, the mistakes that I've made got me to this point too. Everything that was a mistake was a lesson. So I really just can't regret anything. I don't know. I mean, like I said, my anxiety gut instinct is to regret everything. But then I kind of have a pep talk with myself and I'm like, you got to this point with any mistakes that you've made. So you may as well keep on going and see what else you can achieve, you know? Like I always think about how me and Ryan are together, and I mean, he is truly, I believe, my soulmate. And I always think if I didn't make the exact choices that I have made in life, then I wouldn't be with him right now. And I am not willing to change that for anything. So yeah, I mean, I feel like no regrets here. Next question, boring one, but do you have a balcony at the new place? Oh my gosh, not a boring question at all because I'm so excited about it. But yes, I do have a balcony. You know, I really wanted to do a video where I talk to you guys through our decision process for why we picked the apartment that we picked. And when we went to Vegas, we ended up visiting a bunch and I took some videos, but it was really more videos for us to look over and see what we liked and what we didn't like in each apartment. So it's not the best quality video. So I'm not sure if I should even do a video on like the apartment hunting process and what we were looking for and what we ended up with. But if you guys are interested in that, definitely let me know. It would be mostly just like a sit down video with me talking about it. But then, you know, I could show you some clips, like some low quality clips of what we saw, what we liked, what we didn't like. So I don't know. Let me know. Can a person say that tomatoes are their favorite fruit or perhaps even olives? Where is the line drawn? Ooh, this is a tough question because I am a big lover of tomatoes. And if it were the case where I would have to say tomatoes are my favorite fruit, then I would be very sad because I would be neglecting my other favorite fruit, which is watermelon. So I don't know. You've given me something to ponder while I can't sleep at night. Will you ever return to your ASMR channel? Loved it. Oh my gosh, I love ASMR and I loved making ASMR content. I know it's not for everybody, and you know, I obviously would never stop doing what I do right now. I would just do ASMR in addition to it like I did for a while. But this apartment that I live in is in the loudest city ever. There's constant construction, literally nonstop, and I used to wake up at 5 a.m. on Sundays to film my ASMR videos, and then it got to the point where they were doing construction overnight here on the roads, which was so annoying, so I just kind of gave up on it. But I am hoping that the new apartment that we are moving to is going to be a lot quieter, and I would love to get back into doing it. What would be your dream job? I would love to be an author. That's something that I have always wanted, and that's something that I hopefully will eventually do in life. Why do you wave from your chin when saying bye in videos? I don't remember why I started doing it, but that's something that I've done for a really long time, even not on YouTube. That's like how I used to say goodbye to people. It was from The Little Rascals and I loved it, so I don't know, I just started doing it. Have you ever accidentally bought a polish you already own? Yes, absolutely. It used to happen to me all the time, especially before I was creating content online. I always forgot which polishes I owned, so I would end up buying a few of them. I've also purposely bought polishes that I already own so that I could have backups, but honestly, I don't buy too many polishes anymore just because I get so many sent to me in PR, and I pretty much am at the point where I actually turn away PR from a lot of brands. I don't accept getting nail polish from every brand that offers it to me. I don't accept PR from everyone. Are there some nail polish brands you refuse to make a video with? Yes, there are. I really try to avoid being, in any sort of drama. I don't want to be a part of any controversy. I always try to keep it very positive on my channel. But oh, by the way, there was Pineapples Have Feelings. I don't know if you guys saw that. But yeah, no, I really try to avoid mentioning it. If I don't like a brand, I will just never talk about them ever. So that's how I approach that. I have actually had a couple of brands try to get involved in drama with me. I'm sure that, negative press is still press, and some brands are looking for that negative press, but I really just shut it down as soon as it starts. In those cases, when they are just desperate for negative attention from me, I will remove any mention of them ever on my channel. But I've also had brands be upset with me for honest negative reviews. Those I leave up because I would not remove an honest opinion because a brand is mad about it. I always value honesty on my channel. Last question. If you could ask your followers one thing, what would it be? I guess the biggest thing that I would have to ask you is, what is your favorite kind of content to see from me? Because I always want to do the stuff that interests you guys the most. So let me know in the comments. So yeah, that is the packing and Q&A. Hopefully was a little bit interesting for you all. Like I said, I'm done now and I am currently filming other vlogs. I'm doing more moving content. So definitely stay tuned for that. You'll probably see me move to the new place next week unless you guys want me to do the apartment hunting video, which I'm still not sure about. So definitely let me know in the comments. But yeah, that is it. And I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.